What if I told you that one of my favorite DS games was an Adventure Time Metroidvania? Now, you'd probably be thinking this would be the perfect game for me, and considering my love for Adventure Time and my painful love for Metroid, you'd think that. And you're right, this game was truly the perfect game for me.
It's adventure time. Hey, Ice King, why'd you steal a garbage?
Before I go on about this game, let me just explain to you why to most people I talk about this game and why I put this game to such high regard. Licensed games are more often than not shit. A licensed game is, for example, Disney says to a developer, "Here, I give you my treasured Mickey Mouse, now go make a game about it." And that's it. Some great examples of licensed games are Scott Pilgrim Rest of the World, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and Simpsons Hit and Run. Sadly, these good games with licenses are often limited, and we're left with Superman 64 to make up the 99%. Now on to actually Adventure Time shit. In 2010, one of the most iconic and recognizable cartoons would be released. Adventure Time, created by Pendleton Ward, was an instant success, pretty much reviving Cartoon Network with the help of regular show after they fell from grace.
Destroy! Build! Destroy!
The show made millions of dollars off merchandise and had a very successful comic book line, winning many awards. It was obvious that the next step for the show would be making video game. So, in the bygone year of 2012, the first Adventure Time game was released for the Nintendo DS. Hey Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? The story of this game is pretty simple, but once you enter another kingdom, it gets deeper with many subplots. The main story is that the Ice King has stolen your garbage and you need to go get it. Now, this is very simple, as I said, but once you go into Candy Kingdom, for example, it starts to get a lot deeper. For example, the Ice Kingdom, there is a snow goblin who wants a girlfriend. In the Rock Kingdom, Door Lord's door has halted your progress, and you need 3 singing bugs to get through. And in the Candy Kingdom, PB's panties are gone, and Ice King tries to wear them. What the fuck? We'll also briefly go to the Fire Kingdom, which is pretty cool. All these subplots are kinda cool and add a lot of world building, but sadly have little depth. Most of them involve backtracking and grabbing something, which is kinda cool, which it gives older characters in older areas new depth to them, but it gets kinda tedious after a while. You also get extra power-ups for going back and looking on the older areas, which is also really nice. One of the best parts of the stories, though, is how they actually got many of the characters, areas, and scenarios from Adventure Time in the game. So, for example, the Door Lord, which is probably my favorite part because it's my favorite episode of the show. It just makes it feel like an Adventure Time episode, and I really like that. The soundtrack of this game is really good. The main theme is good, and so are most of the tracks. Obviously, that they couldn't get Jeremy Shada and DiMaggio to make sing the intro. Kind of makes me a bit sad. I don't know why Pendleton didn't do it, but whatever. I don't really care. The only part of the soundtrack I find annoying is the world map themes, because you hear them a lot and it just annoys the fuck out of me. The DS compression really kills this game, like it just destroys it. It makes me really sad, knowing that the compression of this game just kind of stuffs everything up. Also, a few more positives. Every boss is introduced like a Dark Souls boss, and I just find that really funny. And the writing can be a bit, Onto some negatives, backtracking can get extremely annoying and eventually gets tedious. Except for looking for the cloud pieces, I don't know why, but I really enjoy doing that. This game can be very confusing and mysterious. I only found this when you were trying to get all the prisoners out of Lemongrab's clutches. And that was just kind of annoying for me, but again, it was really short, and just the rest of it was like only, a quarter way through the game, so I didn't really mind. Another thing that I felt was just ruined by this game was the power-ups. Now, when you go through the game and go through some of the levels, when you kill an enemy, there is a chance they will drop a power-up. And that's really cool. That's such a cool concept to have power-ups that are actually in the show, like you get bacon and pancakes. You even get the Enkai Raiden, which fucking instantly kills anything, I never got it, but that's really cool. But they weren't useful at all, except for the food ones. I never found myself using any of the power-ups. I guess I kind of spammed them in the boss battle, like the final boss against the Ice King, but I didn't really do anything with that. It didn't work. I died, and I just did it again without the power-ups. One more negative, the game is extremely short, which kind of hurts me a bit, because, it's such a good game. I love the concepts, love everything it showed. I'd love to see a sequel, but it seems like the developers are now getting big success with Shantae, which I think is really interesting. Also, the show ended. It's another thing. Okay, now this part is a bit of a stretch. but the game is a fucking Metroidvania! Now, to spot the elements of a Metroid game, I'll be using the ideas from Neryl's video on Metroid, as I feel like he was spot on with them. You explore the Land of Ooh from the show, of course. There aren't really that many ways to get lost and find a new item, but I still think it's exploring, especially with the backtracking. You also explore new areas once you gain new power-ups, which I think is cool, but I'll move on to that now. The power-ups that you collect, they could count, but I mean, I'm not gonna pass up bacon pancakes to the high jump boots. A good example of power-ups done right in this game is where you need to get into the first dungeon, but you need Finn's Scarlet Sword, and the formations Jay can take to turn into a bridge or a boat, etc. You also need Finn's Fire Sword to get into the final battle with Ice King. I think that's great. The atmosphere, well, I mean, it's adventure time. I enjoyed the atmosphere of the game, but that's probably because I enjoy, the world of Adventure Time. I don't know if someone who hasn't seen Adventure Time will enjoy it, just gonna guess. Some of the areas can be kind of repetitive, and when you're traveling, going up the stairs to get into a hill or something. That, I don't really like those areas that are kind of generic. But they're fine. They're a bit repetitive, but they're fine. I don't really mind them. Wow, I really just spoke about Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage for the Nintendo DS, then fucking Animal Crossing New Horizons. As I said in the start, this show is one of my favorites of all time, and it has such amazing writing, incredible characters, great soundtrack, so happy 10th Adventure Time. Thanks for the memories.
Can't keep pushing this down any deeper. Why do I keep trying if I can't keep her? Every move I make is just another mistake. I wonder what it would take, because it feels like there's a hole inside my body, like there's a hole inside my heart. It's like this feeling is gonna consume me if I keep waiting for this thing to start. Oh, I feel like I'm all gummed up inside. It's like I'm all gummed up inside. It's like I'm all gummed up inside.